I'm Dr. Rachel Newrick, and we're here at the end of the Advanced Seismic Interpretation class. And I just want to mention a few things as we step into recent advances, presentations, and wrapping things up. One of the easiest ways to keep up with new developments is to keep on top of your technical society magazines. For example, I have one here from the EAGE, that's the first break. I have another one. Oh, it's identical. I have no idea why they sent me the same magazine twice. I have one here from the CSEG, and this is the Recorder. Fabulous little monthly publication, but it's only online now, and I keep this one here on my desk to remind me to look online. And the other one I have here beside me is the AAPG Explorer, which has that brilliant geophysical corner in it. Have a look at these. Also have a look at the Leading Edge from the SEG, and I also quite enjoy Interpretation Journal from the SEG, AAPG combined as well. Now you can also keep up with technical news by attending Technical Society luncheons, often online now, you provide your own lunch, or webinars, or other forms of networking events. You can also go to some of your software companies to attend webinars. For example, Paradigm Emerson does a fabulous job at monthly or bi-monthly webinars that you can gain really good subsurface information about. You could look at your technical circle and see what type of blogs people are putting out or homemade videos. For example, Agile Geoscience does a wonderful blog newsletter that always gives me great ideas, something to go down a rabbit hole and learn something new. So your challenge for this final session is to find a recent Technical Society journal or blog or some type of discussion that gives you a new idea for something in your project area. Or maybe it's an old idea that you now know or have now discovered you can apply to your area, but something you hadn't really thought of. That could be something small, quite subtle, or it could be a brand new technique cascading attributes that you hadn't thought of. Once you've come up with an idea to use, something that you want to investigate, you need to do all the data gathering. You need to pull all the information, Google it, search other journals, and find out as much as you can about the technique. Is it applicable? Is it used in other areas? How has it failed? Has it given you false positives as well as false negatives? Once you have that information, we allow it to saturate, and then eventually, and it could be hours or months, it could be years, you're going to have an aha moment. And you're quite literally going to say, aha, wow, I get it. It all makes sense. When that all comes together, you can wrap it up and put a bow on it. Hopefully for you, it works a little bit more quickly when you need it, but sometimes it can take a long time. Let's look back to the Bloom's triangle and remember that evaluation and analysis and creativity are right at the top of that triangle. And life at the top is hard. You have to work at it. And we expect that we get an idea and we step nice and systematically up the staircase right until we get our result. That's not generally what happens. At least for me, I tend to go whoa all over the place, and finally the big aha moments and the results come when I go down some path that I hadn't ever expected. So when things go a little bit wrong, please be kind to yourself and be kind to your colleagues. One last thing that I want to talk about, and it's really because we're now living in that virtual world, is stay connected and stay in touch. You can do that by attending virtual conferences. Last week I went to the GeoConvention conference. I learned a lot from the technical talks, but also I had a fabulous time on Zoom drinks at the end of the evening, and it was wonderful to catch up with people that just hadn't crossed my path since the last in-person convention. Really gave me some invigoration for some of the science that I was doing. I'm attending the AAPG this week, and the SEG is going on next month. So there's a lot that you can participate in. Also, just one-off webinars are great to keep those technical information flowing. The other thing you can do is keep connected on LinkedIn or other forms of social media, and feel free to connect to me after the course. I also like to suggest that people volunteer to review technical papers. And here's one I've reviewed recently. It forces me to sit down and look in detail at a technical paper. It can take a lot of time, but it's important to give back to our societies so that we all contribute to the robust science that's being published. And hopefully you find some papers that interest you and it's well worth your time. It certainly was for me in this case. And lastly, just reach out to your network, reach out to colleagues, past colleagues, keep in touch. You never know how you're going to make someone's day. So that's it from me. Let's have a fabulous final day as we continue the course. And aside from that, I wish you all the best in your exploration adventures and your continued lifelong learning in geoscience.